scooped up by Pastrnak, 3-on-2. Pastrnak. Send it to the slot. Fire, they score! Right off the hop. Morgan Hickey scores in 3 straight. Watson shoots. To the angle. To Brady Point. 2-on-1. Perry, a great save by Swagevich. Couldn't fire it. And now Bennett getting it ball to Zadorov. Zadorov the right. Zadorov the left. The Jersey jab. Zadorov the right. Zadorov the right. Pastrnak scores 50 goals for David Pastrnak.
As well as anybody. Oh, what a second game. Previously, McDavid thumped on the boards by
To Bergeron on the drive. So rebound is loose. David kicks it loose.
All right, how is everybody doing? Welcome back to your one-stop scoop shop. This is Bruins Scoops. I'm your host. I'm Tommy. It depends how you want to look at this past week of Bruins hockey. It really, really, really depends. It definitely had its mixed bag of results. Last you heard from me was after the Panthers game. So now we dive into the last kind of 4 games where it had its mixed results. The Ducks game was very frustrating. You had the Avalanche game where they kind of bounced back. They played a better brand of hockey, you could say, depending how you want to look at it. And then they got absolutely dummied in Ottawa, which was just not great at all. And then you look at the Islanders game where they responded and they came out with a sense of purpose and urgency and they played the right way. You know, it was good to see that type of response, especially after the Ottawa game. As I do always, briefly recap, kind of give my 2 cents, and then we dive into the nitty-gritty. Ducks game was frustrating. That was a game that I think you needed to win. You're facing Peter Mrazek, and Mrazek hasn't been good. I think if the Bruins face Lucas Dostal, I don't think they win that hockey game. Not even close. Lucas Dostal's a very good goaltender. But this is a team in the Ducks that surprisingly has been really good. This is a team in the Ducks that's kind of figured things out. They got a lot of really good young players. Say what you will about their coach. You know, I have my personal feelings on whether he should be a coach or not, but Quenneville is on the bench, and that does kind of give them a boost. But you just, if you score 5 goals in hockey, you should win a hockey game. And the Bruins lose 7-5. It's just a back and forth affair. That third period, just how it ended, not ideal. I'm going to get into some of that. But you respond really well against Colorado, and Colorado kind of dummied you in a lot of different ways. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, that's why the title of this episode, the key word is sustainability, and getting into what is sustainable, what's not sustainable. Can the Bruins play this way and win? How much more can you do this for a whole 82 games? That's what we're going to get into. And then you go to Ottawa and you get clobbered. It wasn't close. Jeremy Swayman, he didn't really have a chance at all. The team in front of him wasn't very good. They lose 7-2. Not great. And then the Islanders game, I mean, really bad start. You're down 2-0, but you play a really strong 40 minutes and you win a hockey game. You took advantage of a goalie who's not very good. Nothing against Ilya Sorokin, but his numbers just have not been good. And you took advantage of that. So I kind of want to get into the sustainable stuff, because when you look at the Boston Bruins and you just think of how they're winning these games and even how they're losing these games, you really ask yourself, I know I have. I've asked myself more times than anything, is this sustainable? Can the Bruins keep on doing this? Can they keep playing this way? Obviously, the results can be different, but you have crystal clear examples within these couple of games where it's just straight up not sustainable. I think the Islanders game, and that's where I'll start real quick. The Islanders game I thought was just a good hockey game. I thought Jonas Korpisalo really dialed things in after the first period. Really shaky to start, but he delivered towards the end. Really made some key saves, especially in the second period, where the Islanders were getting absolutely dominated for the first large part of the period. They didn't really have a response for the Bruins at all. I mean, the Bruins definitely had control of shot attempts, 16-7 at 5-on-5 play. I mean, granted, only 14 minutes and 30 seconds were played. Very low event offense in terms of the expected goal stuff for both teams. You're looking at 0.37 to 0.38. So it's not ideal by any means whatsoever. But, the Bruins overall, I mean, it was still low event offense with special teams. It was 0.73 to 0.77 in favor of the Islanders. But the Bruins held them to just 5 shots against at 5-on-5. 9. Let's see how many shots. Yeah, no. So they didn't. Yeah, so the Islanders spent more time with the kill. But yeah, they didn't really do anything offensively getting after the Bruins. And Korpisalo came out with key saves. Islanders showed some really good pushback in the third period, but it didn't matter. And that's honestly really what counts as the Bruins did their job. And I think it was just well execution across the board. You look at a lot of the goals that were scored in that game. I thought Geeky gets on the board again. Pasternak, that beautiful cross-ice seam pass by Hampus, just heads up all the way play. Then you look at the McAvoy one. I mean, good for McAvoy. Really, really good play there. Heads up play. Ace wants stick on the ice. Like, you really do love to see that. And then the Bruins just kind of close things out, and that's the stuff you really do enjoy seeing. But per natural stat trick, I thought this was a phenomenal game. Korpisalo, 1.97 goals saved above expected, perfect in the high danger areas of the ice. Granted, that's where the Islanders kind of set up shop. Definitely had low danger, but definitely moved their way to the high danger areas of the ice. A 943 save percentage for this game, so really huge. Faced 35 shots. I thought Korpisalo played a phenomenal game. I thought he did a really, really good job. I really got nothing much to say in that regard, if I'm being really honest. I think that's a game that you can look at as a Bruins fan, and you can kind of rejoice a little bit. You can feel good about yourselves as fans, because that was probably the best effort the Bruins have put together. That's probably the best effort that the Bruins have played. And I'll give them credit. They rallied, and they did a good job. I have no complaints about that game. So let's get into the unsustainables. So you look at this Colorado game, and they won. They won the game. But how many times are you going to win a game when it looks like this? Now, if you're on audio, you obviously can't see this. But if you are on the YouTube or watching this live right now, you will be able to see what I'm about to pull up, because it's not great. It's really not great. It's just this is the unsustainable part, right? This stuff right here. So you look at this game, and just at 5-on-5, the Avalanche generated 2.93 expected goals for. That's a butt kicking. The Bruins got outplayed in all but one period. But when you're allowing 68 shot attempts, you blocked 32 shots. That's a lot. That just means you're defending a lot. The Colorado Avalanche finished with a Corsi 4 percentage, which you can see down here, 70.83%. Scoring chances were 70.45%. And then you go to the expected goal share, that's a 65.18%. That's not good if you're it's really not good if you're the Avalanche. It's just, or if you're the Bruins, like, how many times are you going to win games like that? Like, you're just not. And that's a game where it's like the Bruins don't have many chances. They're not generating many chances. I mean, high danger shot attempts were 15-4 at 5-on-5. 19-6 special teams play. In all situations, the Avalanche generated 4.18 expected goals for, and they scored 2. So Jeremy Swayman absolutely stood on his head. Absolutely stood on his head. 2.18 goal saved above expected, a 939 save percentage. Like, not great. Not great if you are a Bruins fan. Like, you don't love seeing that. And it just goes down to, like, how sustainable is that? Like, how many times can you win those games like that? Like, that's hard. That's hard for any team. Like, you're asking a lot. You're basically asking your offense to literally capitalize on the chances they do get, however many they get. Could be little, could be not. But that's what you're asking. You almost have to ask your offense to play like flawless. Like, if you get chances, you better capitalize. You're also asking your goaltender to stand on its head. And while that's great, like, I'm happy for Jeremy Swayman in every aspect of hockey right now. Like, I'm very happy for Jeremy Swayman. I think Jeremy Swayman's having the type of season that you legitimately wanted to see out of Jeremy Swayman this season. I mean, you look at him, no way. He didn't fall that far. There's no way. No way. That tanked that bad? No. That Ottawa game must have absolutely ruined his goals saved above expected, because Jeremy Swayman was like top 15 in goals saved above expected. Now it's just 0.9. So that Ottawa game must have absolutely tanked it. But I thought Jeremy Swayman's had a really good hockey season so far. I really do. Like, that game tanked his numbers. Good Lord. But that's the thing, you're asking for sustainability. You're asking for your goaltender to stand on its head, much like Korpisalo played. Korpisalo played really good in the Islanders game. But you're asking your goalies to play flawless hockey. You're asking your forwards to play flawless, efficient hockey. You're just asking guys to do way too much, way more than they probably should in the grand scheme of things. Now I really just want to look at how bad that Ottawa game was in all situations. Like, because Swayman was playing dynamite. Like, his numbers were fantastic. I just wonder how bad they dipped because of it. That'll do it. 7 goals against on just 2.74 expected goals. Like, Jesus. Ottawa only generated 2.74 expected goals the entire game, and you let in 7. That'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. So, I mean, that's a minus 4 point something. Yeah, that's no wonder why it tanked. So really, if you boil down just that game alone, I mean, he had like 4 point something goal saved above expected. He was like top 15 in that regard, which is a very good metric. And for anyone who doesn't understand what that means, it's literally the expected goals that a team is supposedly going to score based on shot quality, the way the puck bounces, all that fun stuff. And basically the goalie's stopping the puck from going into the net, and that's how you get that metric. So, like for this instance, he had, Ottawa generated 2.74 expected goals. He allowed 7, so he allowed way more than what the expected rate was. So that's why the number tanked. That is super unfortunate. But I thought the Islanders game was good. As I said. So now I want to dive into some stuff. And speaking of sustainability, I do want to get this out before I forget. But this is like what I kind of lean on when it comes to the sustainability thing. Ty Anderson had this after the game. I need to find it. Okay, in their 5 wins this season, the Bruins goaltenders have combined for a .940 save percentage. That's really good. .835 in their losses. So the Bruins, when you really want to dissect them as a hockey team, and this is the thing too, and I'm pulling this as a whole. I'm not doing this just for one game. Is it sustainable? Because you look at their expected goals for percentage, and this is just you being able to generate offense and what opposing teams are able to do to you. So for the Bruins, you were 28th in expected goals for percentage, which that's not good. The only teams below you somehow are the Winnipeg Jets, San Jose Sharks, which they're fun. They can't defend worth anything, but they are a very young, fun team. The Anaheim Ducks, who you just played, they're a very feast and famine type of, they'll give up, but they'll definitely take their chances too. Vancouver, not sure you want to be in the same competition as them, and then you are somehow behind the Blackhawks and Seattle, which that's not good company to be in. The metric there, it's not a big difference, but you're still lagging behind them. Then you look at expected goals against, and if you're the Bruins, you allow the most. And the goals against, you're allowing more goals than expected. So not great. That's another thing for sustainability. The other thing that I don't know is sustainable is how much are you going to be able to score above your expected rate? Okay, like at 5-on-5, you're generating 21.86 expected goals, which is good. I mean, that's 12th. It's respectable. You're scoring 24, so your finishing ability is better than what you're expected to do. Is that sustainable? I mean, your Corsi 4 is 47.94%. So when it comes to puck possession, you're at the bottom. You're 25th. So, yeah, you can take your chances. You can obviously give some up. I mean, the Bruins, especially from high danger, allow the second most high danger chances. Like that's not good enough. And then high danger goals against, I'm actually very curious where they're at. The Bruins are fourth most high danger. Like a lot of that stuff is just not sustainable. It's just not. Like you can't keep giving up high quality chances and your inability to protect the front of your net, which I'm going to get to in a second. You can't expect to give opposing teams just numerous chances to cash in and hoping your goaltender saves your bacon. This was something that was very glaring in the 2023-24 season. The Bruins just got really, really, really good, strong goaltending from Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman. So it really, what it was doing was masking that area of the ice where the Bruins were struggling. Teams were finding the open seams. Teams were finding open spaces. They were able to get in and get high-quality chances, but you got good goaltending in the high-danger areas to where it was masking the defensive issues. Then you get to last season, and it was just a pure nightmare. You get to this season, and somehow it's even worse. And it's not even Halloween yet. So is this type of play sustainable? I do think that you can rely on the goaltending of Jeremy Swayman and Yunus Korpisalo, where they can steal you a game. You're going to get these games where the puck's just going your way. You're getting good luck. You're capitalizing on your chances really good. But it seems like if all those things just fall apart, it's going to be ugly and you're not going to win these games. And it's just bad. It's bad recipe. That's just me personally. Because that's a thing. The Bruins just struggle to protect the front of the net. Teams are just finding ways to get to the front of the net and they're cashing in, and it's just not ideal. And that was one thing very notable in the Ducks game. Very notable. And I'm going to nitpick this play because I've watched it like 5 times. The Troy Terry goal that basically gave the Ducks the lead, almost inexcusable. How can I put this nicely? McAvoy and Lowry don't work. We can get to that in a second. But that goal was almost just inexcusable. I'm not sure whose fault it is per se, but you see where Lowry gets kind of turned around, loses sight of the puck. McAvoy sees the puck, aims to go towards the puck because he doesn't know if Lowry is going to get there, but Terry sneaks behind him. He nudges Lowry. At that point, it's just too late, and Terry's in front of the goal, and next thing you know, the puck's in the net. It doesn't work. And he did, in fact, change the pairing. He ended up putting Zadorov, which I think needs to stay a pairing, by the way. The Lowry and McAvoy pair doesn't work. I mean, the Corsi 4 is very neck and neck. I mean, 137 attempts to 140. So they're taking their chances, but they're giving it right back. They've been outscored 10-7. Shots, yeah, it's even because they're excelling in transition offensively, but they can't defend shit together. They just can't. Scoring chances are even. High danger, they're getting caved a little bit, but it's the expected stuff. I mean, you're looking at 5.41 expected goals for to 7.08 expected goals against. That's not good, especially if you're a top pair. And you want to look at Mason Lowry and Charlie McAvoy just individually. They are the top 2 guys for the highest expected goals against of anybody in this entire team. It's not great, and it doesn't work. And I think if you're like, and I get it from Sturm's standpoint, I do. Like, you want to push this kid. The kid got the bridge deal. It's more of obviously a prove yourself type of deal, which, yeah, he needs to do. But, the tools are there. It's still very raw, but the tools are there. He's a guy that excels in transition. He's good with the puck on his stick and when the team is in possession of the play. Except the Bruins they're not a puck possession team. They're just not. And if you're not going to be a puck possession team, you need to be a shot suppression team. And they're not even that either. So you're asking him to play a tougher role, more minutes. It's just not working. And it did lead to Lowry getting scratched. He was a healthy scratch last night against the against the Islanders, but it's just been bad. I mean, Lowry has the second highest expected goals against with 10.19. Not great. Teams are having their way in the high danger areas with him, but I like it from Sturm's standpoint. I do. I like it from his angle. I like it from his standpoint. He had the quote on it. I mean, we expect more from him, and sometimes we have to press that reset button. And it's not like we want to bury him. I want to help him. That's part of the process. And again, you get some good things, but too many mistakes. He was responsible for 2 of those goals in the Panthers game. The McAvoy-Lowry pairing got absolutely dummied in the Ducks game. Like, it's just not working. And he is responsible for that. I think if you're him, you shelter him with Andrew Peeke. It's a pairing that kind of, I mean, it got caved last year, but I think this is a different system. I think this is a different area of structure, and I think it's a system that I think Andrew Peeke has done a little bit better in, and I think whoever he's been paired with has actually been fairly well. Like, he spent 5 games with Jordan Harris. They had a pretty good expected goals against for that time frame, 1.92, not bad. I mean, you look down him with Mason Lowry. I mean, they got kind of caved a little bit. 1.67 expected goals against, but they're outscoring opponents 2-0. So you kind of take the results like that, but scoring chances, high danger chances, getting killed, 9-2 for opponents, just 23-8 for opponents, just not great. But he's been good with everybody else. I mean, even McAvoy, that was I don't remember what game it was that they played together, but yeah, the results are pretty bad there. Yoki Haru, it doesn't work with Peeke. Like, I think it just depends, but that's probably where I would put him. Asprot looked really good with Yoki Haru, so you keep that. Hampus Lindholm's good, obviously, and he could play with just about anybody. But what does that look like? Do you put Hampus on the top pair? Like, I think you got to spread the wealth a little bit, in my opinion. But you look at this Zadorov-McAvoy pairing, and this is a pair that worked last year to a little degree. I think this one might be an outlier because of, I can't remember what game they were paired in. So many games, I can't remember who sat when, but they're outscoring opponents 2-1. The expected goals differential is not too far off. I mean, you're talking 1.35 for opponents to 1.1. Scoring chances, for and against, it's a little even there, but overall, I think Zadorov's handled the structure really, really well. I think Zadorov has done a really good job. I think he's arguably been this team's best defender. I know that sounds insane. Like, I don't think that's what fans exactly envisioned, but he has been. He's literally been one of our best defensemen. Like, he's got the structure down. He's executing it well, and I have no complaints. I like what I've seen from Zadorov this year, and I think it's okay to put him in that position. Let's see. Okay, so Lowry did play this game. I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was paired with McAvoy. So the metrics actually aren't bad. Lowry actually really didn't play that bad. I mean, his Corsi 4 was pretty dead even. His expected stuff, 1.04 expected goals against me. Kid's just getting caved in defensively. It's sad. Yeah, it sucks. I'm pretty sure he got 18 minutes of ice time, which is wonderful. You kind of love to see that. Third most on the team. Zadorov, Peeke, Lowry, Yoki Haru, like those guys. Yeah, McAvoy didn't have a good game, but he bounced back majorly against the Islanders. I personally would just keep the Zadorov pairing. I think it's worked. I think it looks better. I think Lowry needs just shelter him a little bit. Just shelter him a little bit because I think it can allow him just to hone his game in better. Like, you're almost asking him to do too much. And you see Charlie McAvoy overthinking way too much. And I don't think it's something you want to see. You don't want to see McAvoy overthinking. You need McAvoy. Like, you do. You need Charlie McAvoy. And you need him to be at his best. If he's at his best with Nikita Zadorov, just let him cook together. Just let them play together. Spread the wealth a little bit. Let them just, worst comes to worst too. If you got to put Zadorov back with Peeke, who that's been a really good pair for the Bruins this year. That's arguably been their best pair. They're 12-9 in the high danger areas, 2.41 to 2.11 expected goal differential. Like, you like to see that. I mean, you could do that and then make the top pair very top heavy, where you put Hampus Lindholm up with him, because Hampus Lindholm can play with just about anybody, it seems. One of the more well-rounded defensemen, but maybe until he kind of gets his feet more wet after coming back from injury, don't touch it. What else did I have on this rundown for the Bruins week? Yeah, the Marek Kuznetsov, it's almost like it's very strange. I mean, coaches have their way of setting lineups and they make decisions based on, things they see and, how they want to go about it, which is fine. But I don't like the reasoning that comes with it every single time. Like, he brings a big element of speed and, like, we need speed. And it's like, you need speed every game you're in, because the Bruins are not a very fast team. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but they're not a very quick team. The Bruins don't have blazing speed. The Bruins don't have, they're not a very high event offense. They're not speedy on the forecheck. They're not. And if you face a team that is quicker on the forecheck, like, it is what it is. Like, you're going to get killed. But it seems like he's putting him in situationally. It's like a platoon. It's like what the Red Sox do with righties and lefties. Like, Cora sits certain guys against certain matchups. Like, Rob Refsnyder's always going to be in when he's facing a lefty. But it seems like VL will draw in with the more physical teams, and then Kuznetsov will come in for the speedier teams, which he's been one of your most impactful players. I don't know why you wouldn't play him more often, but again, like, there's think that, coaches make decisions based on what they see, and there's obviously stuff that we technically could be missing. But as a fan, I personally would love to see more of Kuznetsov. That's just me. All right, so gonna get to the Bruins schedule. Do a little preview action here. They're taking on the Buffalo Sabres Thursday, so tomorrow, or whenever this comes out and you're listening, could be Thursday that you listen to this. If you do, God bless you. Thank you. But you're taking on the Sabres. Sabres have turned it around since the Bruins have played them. That's the nice part about the Sabres. They dropped their first two, then won two. No. They lost their first three, then they won two in a row. They lost to Montreal, won two in a row, and then they were coming off back-to-back 4-3 losses. One of those coming to Columbus last night in overtime. So, not great, but they're 4-4-2. So, I guess Sabres, they figured it out definitely since then. Overall stat leaders since that point. The Bruins played a really good game. They held them to virtually nothing. I mean, their offense was extremely low event that game. I think just 1.82 expected goals is all Buffalo did. But they have a few. Their wealth for production is very spread out. It's very spread out. You have a lot of the lineup has 5 or more points. I mean, you're really being led by the top guys. Good for Zach Benson, Rasmus Dahlin, Josh Doan. Love Josh Doan. Loved him in Arizona State. But yeah, this is they got some depth. Who the Bruins will face, but could be Cole Ellis. He's going to start. Alex Lyon has seen more of the crease than anybody. So it's going to be interesting who the Bruins face. I think that's obviously a game the Bruins should win, and you should capitalize. Like, you should. What I'm not looking forward to is the second game of this upcoming week. And you won't hear from me till next Wednesday, just based on the schedule. You got Thursday, then you got home game Saturday against the Hurricanes. That sounds like a matchup nightmare. Athletically, the Hurricanes are just good. I think the Hurricanes are systematically the best team in hockey. I think Hurricanes do a lot of things well. They're a very good puck possession team. They generate chances. They're a very high shot volume team. They have a lot of good players, but systematically, I think that's team in hockey. And I don't think it's close. Maybe Florida were not at the height of its powers, but I mean, they got the second best Corsi for percentage in the league at 56. They're outscoring opponents 26-20. This is all at 5v5, by the way. Their expected goals for percentage is at 51.43, so they are hurting on the back end. I do know Jacob Slavin's out, so that stings. They just got Gostisbehere back. Not sure about Keandre Miller. High danger areas, they pummel teams. Wow, I didn't realize Colorado's a wagon offensively this year. Good God. Didn't know that. But Carolina, that's just a team that I think systematically is going to – the problem is they're a little quicker. They really get into the forecheck. I think that's something that the Bruins could struggle with. That's a team that can definitely do the dump and chase game. They cycle the puck well. They got a lot of good weapons. Big fan of Seth Jarvis. You got Sebastian Aho. I mean, it's a team that's it's a very good hockey team, and a team that I think if they want to win this game, they're gonna have to be like, you know, what that Colorado game was at home, where Colorado just took and they relied on Swayman. That's really what that's going to be. That's an afternoon game. And then you take on the Islanders again. Go to New York. So, and we kind of just saw how that went. I think overall, not bad. I mean, the Islanders are a very good hockey team. But evidently they are beatable. And I thought the Bruins did a good job to bring that type of effort. But until you see me, I mean, I think the Bruins could easily go 2-1 in the stretch. I think the only game they lose is the Carolina game. I think Carolina is just in that tier like Colorado, where they're gonna really take it to you. And I think their system and the way they play, it's going to be suffocating. It's like a mismatch because it's just is what it is when it comes to like a talent level and a system thing. I mean, I think Carolina is just the way they play. But everybody enjoy. I know what I'm going to enjoy tonight. I'm going to enjoy Blake Snell and Trey Savage. So without further ado,